Paul, if I was on the committee for Nobel Peace Prize, you know who I would give it to?
Cannot imagine.
His name, contacted me on Twitter. His name is Ken Heslip. Heslip.
Mm-hmm.
And he has solved one of my national nightmares.
Really? Did he replace Skype with something that actually works?
No, even better than that. So you might be familiar with some of the copy-paste bugs that occasionally show their head in Windows 10.
Occasionally. You were the recipient of one of those copy-paste bugs, I think, yesterday.
Mm-hmm. He has figured that out. He can reproduce it.
Stop.
Not even kidding. Now, this is just one iteration of the bug. Okay. But if you open your Mail app right now and select some text and hit copy and go to Notepad and hit paste, it'll paste fine. If you close Mail and hit paste again, it will not work.
It doesn't stay in the clipboard.
Nope. It doesn't.
So it requires some kind of link back.
Mm-hmm.
I most often, the bug, let me think about this. We had that thread internally about addresses. My wife's doing the cards, and she asked me if I had any more work addresses. And I was like, yeah, actually I do. And so I had a couple people to add. And then I had a couple people I just wanted her to make sure we had the most up-to-date address on. And I pasted those into, I pasted them, from Notepad, actually, into Inbox, which is in Chrome. Added some text in the middle to explain that the other two at the bottom, or just make sure those are right. Sent them, and then I copied. What did I copy for you guys? It was it was a URL from Chrome. For some reason, I wanted to give it to you in my head. Either someone should write this up or whatever it was. And what pasted was those people's addresses. So that doesn't involve Mail, but like I've said, I experience this bug daily, typically in Markdown Pad or Chrome.
Yeah. So this is one bug. The best part about all this is it says that he actually filed this bug in the Feedback Hub several months ago. And
oh, yeah, of course.
He said maybe you'll have better exposure at getting it fixed. But here we are.
Well, we are going to be talking to Chris Capossela later today. Maybe I'll mention it to Microsoft's CMO, and he can stick a stick inside of the gears that is the Windows team, or used to be the Windows team, or whatever the hell they have open. I don't know.
Anyways, Paul, so I did something yesterday that I said I wasn't going to do, and then did it like a true, typical blogging hypocrite that I am.
Okay.
And, in true Brad fashion, I just ran down the rabbit hole without actually exploring all the options and everything that I was doing, because, again, an idiot. And so I saw on Verizon's page, it says, hey, you can get 6 months free of Apple Music. And I was like, oh, interesting. So what I could do is use that 6 months free of Apple Music with my Apple Watch. And then my hope was that in 6 months, Spotify would be supporting the feature and I could cancel Apple Music, not having paid for it.
Yep.
And just take my watch and my AirPods to the gym and leave my phone at home, because I don't like taking my phone to the gym because it's an expensive phone, blah, blah, whatever. Stupid story, right?
Understood. Yep.
Okay, so that is what's going through my head. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm going to be able to do this. So I log into Verizon's thing to add my watch. And it says it's $10 a month. I'm like, great. That's fine if I can, whatever. Well, it's not $10 a month. First off, it's $30 to activate your watch, so shoot me once.
Jeez, that's unbelievable.
So I paid
$30.
$30 $30
for what? For what?
For nothing. For nothing. To just bend me over the table and just,
wireless carriers are the worst.
They are. So anyway, I eat it because I'm an idiot and get this thing set up. And I'm like, all right, great. Let's go get my Apple Music and I'm going to head to the gym. Click on the little thing, the advertisement that's in your bill pay area, and it says the 6 months is only available for people on Verizon's unlimited data plans, and I am not on a Verizon unlimited data plan.
So you activated a watch and now don't want to use it.
So then I paid the $10 for 1 month of Apple Music because I wanted to see if I actually like this. I cried the whole time. And then I got to the gym and realized that I'm an idiot, part 17, iteration part 2, because also in my Verizon thing, it says your corporate discount, which I got many years ago when I was in the consulting world. I had a Procter & Gamble email address, is going to expire and you need to renew it. And it's like, crap. It's like, well, here my bill is going to go up because of this. And then it dawned on me that my wife works for a university and has a .edu email address. Well, she can get a nice little discount because she can be a college student for the next 60 years of her life with a .edu email address.
Yeah.
But the thing that was more annoying is that I could have got that Apple Music subscription for $4 a month instead of $10 that I already paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I went to the gym, and for $40, I was able to stream Apple Music right to my watch, and it worked, and it was great.
Do you know Ward Ralston, that guy that used to work for Microsoft? He was Satya Nadella's speechwriter in his last gig before Satya became, CEO. So back when he was just part of the SERP team. He once went to Europe and binge watched Breaking Bad on Netflix during the entire trip, and then got home to a $5,000 bill because he did it streaming over cellular international.
Fantastic.
So he tried to fight the bill, and I'm not breaking a confidence by telling this humorous story at his expense, but whoever his carrier was said, "But you watched the show." And he's like, "Yeah," but he said, yeah, "But you're responsible." That's how that works.
Yeah. So my experience is not quite that bad. Lesson learned. And anyway, so now my watch is activated, and I'll probably keep it just because going to the gym with my phone is nice.
Do you have like a little brown cancer spot under the watch on your skin yet, or does that take a few weeks to develop?
As a fair-skinned individual, melanoma is a very real risk, and that's why we wear SPF.
A little slice of tinfoil under there.
Trust me. If we're going to get cancer from the LTE connectivity, I'd be very happy that it's on my watch and not where I keep my cell phone.
Good point.
It's just real clear.
I once made that same observation. Like, people are worried about the radiation coming off this thing. And I'm like, I don't ever put the phone next to my head, but I do put it in my front pocket a lot. So,
it may not kill me, but it'll take all the joy out of life.
Yeah, exactly.
So, moving on to killing joy in life. New report here to absolutely nobody. It says phone calls jumped 300%, or spam phone calls jumped 300%. Yeah. No surprise.
Spam calls broadly too. Like I see spam calls, and I think they mean robocalls, but robocalls are actually only about 10% apparently of spam calls, and it runs a range of like an insurance company calls out of the blue and they want to sell you insurance. Like that's a spam. It's basically a call from anyone you don't want to talk to.
Also known as every time Paul calls me. What?
Oh. But the United States last year was number 2 on the list of most spam calls per country or whatever. This year we jumped to number 8, so winning, I guess. But I'll just say from my own personal experience, like I could go look it up, I guess. But I bet if I looked at my last 10 calls, at least 8 of them were spam calls, like robocall spam calls, and Google catches some of them now. Like the first 6 digits of my phone number are most typically what comes up. And one of the interesting things about moving to Pennsylvania is that I still have a 617 number, which is one of the Massachusetts area codes. Down here it's 610, and so when I give people my phone number here, I'm always worried they're going to screw that up because I think they automatically hear 61 and they just write the 0. But I know when I get a 610 and then the first 3 digits of my actual phone number, 617, I know it's spam. They're always spam. And then it's gotten kind of diabolical because our kids have whatever numbers they have, like 781 numbers, also Boston related, and then whatever the first 3 digits are beyond that. And my wife has started getting spam calls that are those 6 digits now. And so like somehow this thing has gotten sophisticated enough that they're targeting a thing where you see the number and you think, oh, that must be my daughter or my son, even though she would see their name, but that's how this stuff works. Like it's insidious. So, it's getting more sophisticated as the tools we have also get more sophisticated.
And it's always just bad.
It's the worst.
Other things randomly happening. OneDrive is getting a fluent design and refresh on the web, if that's what's been keeping you up at night. No longer stay awake. And Cortana gets Microsoft To Do integration, which makes sense and would have made a lot more sense probably in about 2014. But
That's it is. It's certainly one of the major complaints, right?
Mhm.
You know, what is in there now, like Wonderlist or something?
Yeah.
It's, you know, whatever. For the people who use Cortana, this is long overdue, and I'm sure it will be very welcome. So I'm glad they did it, I guess. But like you said, it should have happened years ago.
Yep. And that's really kind of it. Facebook still.
No, Brad.
Well,
That's not it.
well.
Because as you saw on Instagram, I sort of solved the
that's
problem
right.
with the hue lights. Sort of.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. I was too until, well, so
Go on.
it's been a long story already. I don't want to beat this one to death, but over the course of yesterday, the two of the three light bulbs it initially found updated. Like they just actually updated, like they're supposed to. So because I kept going back, I'd go back and check, and I'd screw with it, and it would, you know, it keeps going through like not responding, downloading, not respond, you know, like. And so at one point in the afternoon, I checked, and they had updated, and I was like, wow. So I was like, maybe we're not going to have to unscrew these things. So I triggered the update for the third one, and I babysat it, and it worked. And then I checked for new lights again because it never found the fourth one, which is the closest one, interestingly. And it did find it, and it needed to be updated as well. That one actually won't update to the same firmware, and I don't know if it's because it's an older bulb or what the deal is. It is updated, but it's updated to an older version, so I can't actually program it to remember itself after you shut it off. But I was like, you know what? This is for the holidays. We can trigger this thing. I will in the morning make a scene, you know, that has this, so it'll be like a one-click thing to turn it back on to that kind of, you know, red, green, whatever.
Yep.
And so I said, we were going to bed, and I said, just for tonight, let's just leave them on, and then I'll screw with it in the morning. So Stephanie went outside to unplug the lights we have around the front porch because you know, we don't have anything automated here. And she comes back in and she goes, those lights over the garage are all normal, like white now. Is that what you wanted? And I'm like,
close.
Nope, that's not what I wanted. So this morning I did make the scenes, right? So I made two. I made one that's red, green, and then I made one that I don't like this. I actually prefer white lights, but the lights on our Christmas tree are the strands of lights you put on are multicolor, so it's probably red, green, blue, I don't know, yellow probably. So I made a second Christmas scene that's red, green, blue, yellow, because the other problem I'd had, because this thing can't remember itself, it will come back to whatever the normal white color is, and I'm like, it will look, you know, it will be better than nothing. I have to use it. So I haven't 100% solved it, but I did get it like on for the first time. Like I kept running outside to look at it.
This is progress.
Yeah, so it's getting there, and you know, like 6 days left. You know, so plenty of room there.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to figure this out probably on about December 27th.
Yes. Well, actually, aside from the effort it would require to do this, I was going to say it's more likely I'm just going to take those things out of there and just never do this again. It's like such a pain in the ass, but taking them out will be a pain in the ass. So actually, it's likely I'll just leave them there, and we will have $80 worth of lights replacing $5 worth of lights. So like your decision that you made earlier with your Apple Watch, we also make those decisions.
Yep. I'm just happy your decision was more expensive than mine, at least so far.
Sure.
So far. So.
Oh well.
All right. Well, you got anything else for today, Mr. Christmas Lights?
Wow. No. Well, there's the. Well, are we holding? When is this thing going to go live? Because there is one more little story, I guess we could.
It'll go live after.
So, you know more about this than I do, I guess, but it's gone.
So if you have ever said to yourself, I wish I had an online version or a local version of Office.com, you're soon going to get one. Microsoft is pushing out a new Office app. It's called an Office app, but it actually just contains all of your Office 365 and Office stuff. It makes it easier to jump around, and it's.
Yeah, so there's a My Office app in Windows 10 today that no one is using, I'm sure, because it's completely pointless, and this will replace that eventually, and will be equally completely pointless because we already have all of those capabilities through the Start menu, through the most recently used list that's in every Office app, you know, whatever. But okay, I don't know why they're doing this.
Yeah,
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt it.
That'll be coming here in the very near future. So,
yep.
All right, folks. Well, that wraps it up for today on this very copy-paste edition of First Ring Daily. And we will catch you right back here tomorrow on Thursday. Have yourself a good one.